La 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 Adam's little vlog.
Tally ho everybody, this is a Heap of Games, Adam speaking, and I'm going to do my review for episode 2 of Robot Wars 2016. I didn't watch it on the original air date because I was at a wedding up in Blackburn, and so I caught a glimpse of it at 11:30 on, I think it was Tuesday night, Monday night, one of the two. And I've just watched the parts that I didn't watch on the computer now. Granted, it took about half an hour because my internet is bloody slow, and BBC iPlayer is it takes up a lot of internet. But I have watched it. I've watched it in 2 separate bits, so forgive me if I forget a few things here and there. But I got the gist of the episode, and there are a couple of things that I've come to realise that I didn't quite have an opinion on after the first one. The lack of music, I actually really approve, and obviously the lack of pre-recorded audience clips, sound clips. But I actually enjoy the lack of music. I don't know why. It seems to make it feel a bit more real. You get to hear the noise of the robots a lot clearer. So I've seen people complain about it, but I think it's a good move to take the music out of it. It makes it feel more real. It gives you the real sound of what's going on, as well as the audience sound, of course. Now, what else did I notice? The arena flipper. I made a comment on my last review for the episode 1. I didn't think the flipper was working quite right. Now, this time it did, which... It worked on, I just saw on Disconstructor, which it was a shame that one didn't do much. It looked quite promising. But it also worked in the head-to-head rounds. I forgot who on. I watched it a few days ago. So the arena flipper works, because it didn't seem to work in the first episode, so that's good. House robots again, limited action. I'm actually looking forward to seeing one of them get destroyed. It's got to happen at some point. We want to see one of those house robots get torn to shreds. Maybe not torn to total shreds, but put in its place. Because we all like to see the big bad ones shown who's boss. Although we do alternatively like seeing them trounce on something little. Speaking of little... Foxic was tiny. It was absolutely minuscule, and I'm not surprised it didn't survive well in the head-to-heads against robots like Thor and Shockwave. And the Chimera, it's good to have it in the competition, but it wasn't going to survive against robots that are 100 to 110 kilos. This one was, 72? Was it 72? And it had big car tyres and a piddly little axe on one end. Not a chance. That was the thing that stuck out most in the episode, the fact that this robot was going to get mauled, and it did within seconds. It got torn to shreds. And that one from Bolton, near to where I went. Disappointed that, Deconstructor went out. Draven, I liked the look of. That one went out. Shockwave just seems like Tornado, but with a different weapon. It's very much... the body looks the same. And the scoop thing is quite a nice idea, but I think it's limited in what it can achieve. Thor's weapon, the axe. I remember the Terahertz axe being disappointing. I got the same impression with Thor's weapon. They don't tend to do much. They just bounce off the surface of the other robots. I think Thor did a bit of damage on Tough as Nails, but that was because it got to the part where there was no armour. But the armour on these robots it's obviously holding up well against the axe weapons, because we haven't really seen an axe get into something. I apologise if my nose sounds a bit stuffy. It is summer, and I do get hay fever. Other points, generally I liked it again. A good show. I'm going to be looking forward to the next episode. I can't remember who's supposed to be in the next episode, but I don't care. I'm looking forward to it. The new competitors, I quite like the look of them. A couple of them seem a bit unoriginal or stale, but they're still... They tend to get knocked out pretty quickly, actually, but they do add to the competition either way. I think it's brilliant. I like the hosts. I like the look of it. It looks good. And initially, I thought looks a bit too different from the original Robot Wars set, but I've gotten used to it quite quickly. I like it. I like the fact now that I know the arena flipper works, instead of it just being a flimsy bit of cardboard that comes up about a centimetre off the ground when the slightest weight is put on it. Generally, good episode. Favourite robot. I forgot to do this for last episode, by the way. I was telling myself before I recorded last review, you've got to have favourite robot, favourite battle, blah blah blah. Favourite robot from this one was probably I didn't really like any. I'm not saying I didn't like them. There wasn't a single one that stood out for me like Behemoth and Nuts stood out for me in the last episode. I think Nuts was my standout from last episode. Standout from this episode, it's incredibly hard to say. Thor, as I mentioned, didn't really get into anything. Shockwave didn't do much, to be honest. It got through. Congratulations to Shockwave, but it didn't do too much. Foxic was invisible pretty much throughout. Mr. Speed Squared had a good first battle, and even without half of its armour, it did alright. So I'd have to go for Mr. Speed Squared. I don't quite understand why they've called it that. Maybe it spins fast. But that destruction of Chimera, which was coming, it was coming, gives Mr. Speed Squared the thumbs up from me. The A-Heap of Games thumbs up. Because that's a thing now, apparently. As for Best Battle, that one again, that Annihilator with Mr. Speed Squared. And what else do I need to mention? Oh, bugger all, really, I don't think. Oh, that's one thing. I've got a Patreon now. Now, I originally didn't want to do this, but I do have bad income. And I spend a lot of time doing these videos, and I'm looking for a different job at the moment, ish. But I would like for people to donate. Don't have to, of course, it's an option. And if people do donate, then you're instantly guaranteed a place in Banter Wars Series 3 when that comes around. And you get your own grudge match against any robot you desire on video. And if I get £30 a month, I'm hoping to build an actual trophy for each series. So instead of this, it's beautiful, I know, but it is sort of made out of cardboard. Instead of a cardboard trophy that I can't send anywhere, I'm thinking of making actual trophies that I can actually send to the actual winners of the actual Banter Wars series. So, that is the perk for donating, because if I get over £30 a month, I'll look into doing that and see if I can get that done. Gonna need to give the lens a clean. Apart from that, good to be back. I'm going to be back editing Banter Wars, and I've yapped on long enough. So this has been A-Heap of Games. I'm speaking to that Toodle Pip, Toodaloo, and Charlie. Goodbye. Oh, new haircut, by the way. Bye.